Hi, my name is Al Green. Not that one, but the struggling guy who was in the music industry for years trying to sell talent and songs to agents. The agents befriended me and taught me techniques that I want to pass on to you through my program, which is called You Can Talk, You Can Sell. Anyone who has ever taken this program has excelled in selling and either risen to the top of their company, their team, or the top of their field. It's called You Can Talk, You Can Sell, and you can get it right here. A lot of the secrets that people are not aware of when they are trying to climb the ladder to be in the higher realm of salespeople in their company or in their field, they don't take into consideration how they look to other people, how they come across. One of the most important things you can do for your own image, and this gets back to the first impressions, is elocution and speaking. When we talk, we have a tendency to throw the end of our sentences away. If you ever notice a newscaster or a skilled actor doing a presentation, they will typically complete all of the pronunciations of a word. They don't just assume you're going to fill in the blanks. They don't say words like gonna. They'll say going to, or they'll say gonna if they've already established that you're getting along with them. But there's words that we cut off. There's slang words that we use. Not everybody is going to go along with your slang words. So if you're a young man and you're talking to a salesperson, watch how they speak. If they say dude, that doesn't mean your customer is going to appreciate that. But if you've developed a rapport with them over a long period of time, maybe so, but not when you're out there trying to build your business up. You're trying to make a clean image for the customer because, again, you are the ambassador for your company. You are the ambassador. They think that you are the company. And even though they might have some kind of a beef with the company, they might call you to handle it. And if you personally don't, they're going to blame the company. And if some people want to really cause trouble, they'll call the company and blame you. That happens to everybody. If that happens to you, don't feel bad. It's just something that occurs when you're dealing with thousands of people. I can't tell you how many people that I've handled in my career of selling, but it's tens of thousands. Somewhere in there, I had people who wanted to cause trouble. I was provoked because at one point I was working for a national company. I had a name on my shirt that had a logo from a big megalith-sized company. And I had people that tried to get me to get into a fight with them. I mean, literally come to blows. Because they provoke you thinking that if you take a swing at them or whatever, they can report you and they've got a lawsuit that they know they can win. So the idea is just refrain back from it. I've had people come right up to me and threaten me and try to provoke me into getting entangled with them. And then basically what I do is I respond to them verbally in a kind way. When they say the problem is with your company is nobody listens, then I would say, I'm listening right now. Tell me, what is it? And eventually they realize if you're not going to fight, they cannot cause you to fight. And they got no complaint. The complaint is dry and empty. When those things happen, you report them to your supervisor. You report them to the company. I was accosted by somebody. I was approached and provoked. And get a name if you can, but keep it on the simple, not because you want to be anything more than professional. Professional means if somebody comes up to you and they say anything insulting, which we've all heard, especially if they go after salespeople, just ignore it. When they call you some kind of a name, just ignore it because look what happens when you don't. We all know that story, okay? The idea is this. Talking and finishing your sentences is communicating. I have a piece of technology here. This machine will increase your company's production by 15%. Can I tell you more about it? Or can I tell you more? And I speak in a professional term because it's not a matter of the person really judging me as they're thinking about me and the company, the whole picture. So when I'm talking and I see a person who is maybe a little bit streetwise, which happens too, it's very easy to identify with them, say, yeah, I know what you're talking about, but watch the language that you use, because we have a decorum of professionalism where we don't use certain language. Just like we said earlier, in the talking guides, we don't bring up sports, we don't bring up politics or religion or anything that's going to get controversial. People are who they are, and if you adopt an attitude of live and let live, then if the customer you're selling to is diametrically opposed to your beliefs, speak clearly, speak concisely about your product, and if you find yourself agreeing with them because they want to tell you a point, there's nothing wrong with saying, yeah, I totally see your point. That makes perfect sense. It doesn't mean you have to agree. It only means that your basic behavior is being looked at for the purpose of your being judged. So speak your words clearly. Learn to pronounce the difficult words that are possibly in your area. If you're coming from certain towns that have interesting pronunciations, watch what you say, because you could be broadcasting to them that you're a little bit ignorant. If you see the town called La Jolla and you say La Jolla, because that's how it's spelled, you're going to look a little bit like an idiot. So let's keep it on a very simple path of being precise whenever we communicate. We finish the words. Practice speaking a sentence. Record how you sound when you just say it offhandedly and when you are reading it and pronouncing every single word. See, even I get tongue-tied a little bit. This happens to all of us. But you'll get some strange words that are just difficult to pronounce, and you'll get tongue-tied. But you got to know that you're communicating to a person. Part of that communication is your body language and mainly your vocal language as well. Elocution, articulation, meaning that they understand every word. And if you don't understand that, try to talk to a person from another country that doesn't exactly have a handle on the language. Ask them to say certain words and you'll see that they might have difficulty. Years ago, I met a gentleman who was Asian, and he had a very thick accent from his native language. He spoke English okay, but there was one word he could not say, and that word was helicopter. So we had a good time talking about it. I asked him to practice it with me, and he had fun, but it was difficult for him. He just could not say that word. You're going to find people from other cultures don't speak and think the way that we do, and we respect them for that, because in my experience and the experience of all of the people that I study with, they're wonderful people all over the world. And you're going to find that their culture has got them into looking at things a certain way. And if you don't agree with it, that's fine. But the idea is not to discriminate because a person has a problem with their speech. I deal with people that are hearing impaired. They speak, but sometimes they say words a little bit differently than the rest of us do. The whole idea of having a disability can cause a person to speak differently. Years ago, I had the pleasure of working with a very, very interesting salesperson, and she had a major stroke and had very difficult time pronouncing her words. So What did we do? We spoke slowly, because if we talked too fast, she would try to talk fast herself, and that was difficult for her. That's another thing, is we don't try to be like a DJ or a commercial where we're just talking as fast as we can to get the information. We want to talk slowly. That helps you with your elocution. We talk a little bit slower. We don't rush through it. Yeah, it's nice to be excited. It's nice to say, wow, this is the greatest thing since sliced bread. But at the same time, you sound more like you're pitching, which is what we want to stay away from if you're talking fast. When we talk slow, people don't always expect that. When we talk concisely and clearly, you'd be amazed how many times the people that are talking to salespeople don't get that. At least have that advantage over your competitors. Have that advantage over everybody else in your company. You don't have to have a beautiful speaking voice, just a clear speaking voice. Don't forget to let the other person do the talking and guide them by asking them open-ended questions. But keep it simple. Remember to pronounce all your words and hit the end of your sentence with clarity, okay?